Thank you, Lord Mayor. I am pleased that the Conservative group have tabled this motion. In 2019, me and Councillor Mariam Jan brought a motion to this council that received cross-party support. But despite assurances following our motion, I stand here today 4 years later to say the council has failed in delivering what was promised. When you lose a loved one through knife or gun crime, only then do you really understand the heartache and come to realise the real dangers we have on our streets. Lynne Baird, who lives in my ward of Yardley West and Stechford, lost her 26-year-old son Daniel to knife crime in 2017. Daniel was celebrating a new job with his friends at a pub in Birmingham when he was fatally stabbed in the heart. The Daniel Baird Foundation was set up following Dan's murder. Lynne Baird commented at the time, "Tragically, Dan had bled to death in the street, and after that, I really wanted to do something to stop this tragedy happening again. How could somebody so young, so fit, and so healthy bleed to death so quickly?" The work the Daniel Baird Foundation has done since enrolling our bleed control kits across the country has to be commended. A simple piece of kit that can control the bleed until the emergency services arrive. My own auntie was brutally stabbed in her own home in Smallheath in July 2019. Due to her being of old age and the force the attacker used, she sadly passed away 30 minutes after the attack. Her grandson was also stabbed at the time. His injuries have left him severely paralysed and confined to a wheelchair. If a bleed kit was close by, could the outcome have been different? At the time, the Hadjil Member of Parliament, Liam Byrne, called an emergency residents' meeting as there had been a few knife-related attacks in his constituency in a short time period. Again, several action plans were drawn up with a follow-up meeting promised. 4 years on, we are still waiting for that meeting. The previous Police Crime Commissioner Bob Jones made a step in the right direction by purchasing kits from proceeds of crime funds. But sadly, the present Police Crime Commissioner Simon Foster has talked a good game but has delivered very little. Never a day goes by when we don't hear of knife or gun-related incidents in our city. Only last night, a few miles from here, someone was stabbed to death. Put yourself in their shoes or in those that have sadly lost loved ones in Birmingham. He was only 31. How many more will need to be murdered before we realise that tougher measures are required from central government? The people who wish us harm are a tiny group. Birmingham is a city full of good people who would want to do the right thing in an emergency. It is these good people we have in mind today. The people who will readily put their hands up to be trained in life-saving bleed control. The people who would rush to the rescue in case of emergency. The people who would do whatever they can to save the life of a stranger. By making bleed kits readily available and by raising awareness through training and promotion, there's no doubt about it, lives will be saved. We in this council need to be doing more and not just making false promises. I would ask everyone in this chamber, put your political differences to one side and let's all work together to make Birmingham a safer place for all. Thank you, Lord Mayor.
Thank you, Cllr Baber Baz.